Well, hey everyone, Karen Beck here with How to Homeschool My Child. Oh, wrong business, Family eBiz, and I do go with the flow. And yes, we have a professional audio person who edits things. I don't always edit, so that little blubber is going to be in the replay probably. So I'm here from familyebiz.com, and we are talking about 5 ways to make more money online. And I'm really excited about some of the things that we're going to talk about. I was going back over it this afternoon, this morning. So let's just dive straight in. If the slide will go. There we go. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you need in place to go from feeling scattered and unfocused, confused and unsure about how to start your business or to take it to the next level, to having that confidence in what strategy to implement or where to focus so you can make a consistent income online. When I first started talking about this, I used to think people just needed more strategies. What I have seen is a lot of people need focus. I mean, you don't know how many people I coach or I talk to, and they're like, I just get overwhelmed with all the things. And you can probably understand that if you've been here, because there are so many little things to sort of connect when you're online. So, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about ways to make your website do more, how to do less work on your part, how to reach the right people, how to read your stats, oh, our favorite thing, numbers, to increase your bottom line, 5 basic questions to answer to help your readers stay on their site, 7 ways to grow your list once your visitor's on there, 6 winning formulas to write a blog post, podcast, video title, 3 easy ways to create consistency and brand coherence in your content, and a secret place to help stay focused and reduce overwhelm. If you're ready, give me a yes in the chat. I do have a little door prize for some people throughout this masterclass. I am going to give away this book, 50 Ways to Crush the Things Keeping You from Happiness and Success. And the way you would enter to win this is by leaving comments in the chat. I'm just going to randomly pick people throughout the class to get this. And one of the reasons I'm giving this away, and I actually heard this from my mentor about a month ago, Amy Porterfield. We were on a master boot camp call, and I believe she was saying like 80% of success is in our mindset. And we really do. I will say, I'm not talking woo woo, that kind of stuff. I'm talking about just the lies and the things that are going on in our head that get us overwhelmed or we don't think we can do it. And so this can help, just 50 different ideas to help you get past it. Now, I do want to say, and I know if you have kids at home, this may not be completely possible, but turn off your cell phone unless you're watching on your cell phone. Shut down all the extra windows on your computer, your device. Close the extra devices. And if possible, you could shut the door. I don't know if that's possible, but the handout is familyebiz.com/5 ways handout. And you could go ahead and grab that real quickly. And I know a lot of people are visual and they like to write things down, and that will sort of get them focused in the direction that they need to go. All right, we're going to really dive into something that I think is really important for your website. And this is where I think you need to start if you do not have an About Me page. What is an About Me page? It is a page about you, but I'm going to back up for a second and say your About Me page really isn't about you. It is actually about your readers and your followers, and the information on there is to help them. It's not to brag or say all these great things about yourself, because your reader, your follower is the hero. You are the guide. And if you want to know more information about the guide and the hero, I encourage you to read a book called Story Brand. Story Brand, and it goes through all sorts of good ideas. But I think it's important that we really get it into our head. We don't talk all about us. We need to talk in relationship to how we can help these people, how we can serve the people. So I want to give you 5 things that I think you need to have on your About Me page. Who you are, what you can offer or what you do to help your audience, where they can find what they need, like Is it a podcast? Is it blog post? Is it a YouTube? Is it, I don't know, wherever you give content, why do you do what you do? It's important that they sort of know a little bit about you and then how to connect with you. This is so important. When I go to a new page or I'm looking for something, I am so surprised how many people do not have an About Me page, first up. Secondly, not just they don't have one, they have one and they don't even put their name on it. If you don't want to use your last name, fine. But I'm like, who are you? Or there's not even a picture. And it's just very corporate ease. And I think it's important when we're building a relationship because the people that buy from you have to know, like, and trust you. Know, like, and trust you. So if you are you need to build a relationship. Let them know something about you. I looked at mine and I don't have time to go and show examples of everything, but it said something about coffee, something, and a wine this, and a voracious reader, something to that effect. That's my very first sentence, very casual. And then family picture, and then go in with all of this. Some of these things you may write paragraphs, some of them you may just write in bullet points. So let me know in the chat. One, maybe you already have an About Me page that already covers that. If so, let me know in the chat. If not, I am going to put a challenge out to you. Would you commit to completing these 5 steps to publish your About Me page, say in the next week? All right. If so, put a yes in the chat and let me know that as well. I hope you've had enough time to actually write that down. But remember, when you're writing, when you're giving all that information, it's always in relationship to how can you serve your people? You don't have to, you can give them expertise. I mean, I could tell them I have a master's of this and these awards and all, but I want them to get to know me so they know me, they like me, they trust me. They trust me, they're going to buy from me. So I see a lot of great points. And I will say, Shannon saying, I need to update it. A year ago, I finally updated my About Me page since I've been teaching about it because it was so old. And plus, I just had some other things I needed to sort of put out there as well. So great. A lot of y'all are going to do this. Let's do this. A little scroller. Okay, right here. Bonnie Rose, you just won our first little ebook door prize. So if you will help me remember and send me your email and door prize or something, and you can send it in the chat or by email, whatever. Okay, you are in the right place. If you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, I should have put dad, who wants to start an online business, but you are confused what I rewrote this thing and I erased too much of that. You're really where to start and what to do next. What is most important in starting to make money? You struggle to find time or the focus to be able to get your stuff done. Maybe you're a blogger or an podcaster, a content creator. Where not everyone's a blogger, everyone. Some of you are just content creators and you're selling your things, but you're barely making any money or you're making a part-time income. Too often you find yourself chasing the shiny object, or you're confused about who to follow or listen to in order to make a real income. Because there's just so many voices out there. Let's be honest. Maybe you are you have a full-time job, and this is your side gig. You're an online business. You're wanting to scale that business so it runs more automatically as well. And then I know we have some single moms and dads who just need to make this work to support your family. You don't want to go back to the job market. You want the freedom to be able to spend time with your kids and work from home. No matter which one you are, I want you to know that I'm here to support you. But if you would put something in the chat and just let me know which one you are, or you can put something else if I didn't cover it. But and I will answer questions at the end, Jamie, if that's okay. And if I don't see that question, I'll come write it again as well. So we've got online business owners, and we'll just have to see who else puts something in there. Oh, a wide variety of people. Okay. Well, let me introduce myself. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but these are all the kids and grandkids. Like I said, I was at Grandparents' Day. Let me just sort of introduce them to you. Well, we'll start with the baby. Hunter is right here. He lives in Houston, has a great job, entrepreneur's spirit. Can't wait to get some of his own businesses started. Gentry's our middle daughter. She's married to Andrew. They have Deacon and Landry. They're the ones that live up north of Dallas. Ashley is, they live north of Austin in Round Rock, and she's married to Jesse, and they have Faith and Elizabeth, and that's who I was visiting yesterday. So we have had family businesses since 1985. In 2002, we went completely online because we moved from Texas to Idaho so Steve could go to seminary. At that time, we had Curriculum Connection. We were mostly just a reseller. It was a bricks and mortar business, but I did begin to write some of my books, and Hunter's right there in the middle, Jim. Right there. They've all grown up since you've seen them. So we moved from Texas to Idaho, and Steve could not take his remodeling clients from Texas and go remodel homes in Idaho. And we weren't going to stay there. So we weren't really going to start a new bricks and mortar business up there. So he began Family eBiz, and he began just teaching teenagers how to have their own business. It supported us completely. Well, I say Family eBiz and Curriculum Connection while we were in Idaho. And then we began to teach more families online marketing, digital marketing type techniques. When we came home, I started How to Homeschool My Child and began creating digital products and courses, giving support for homeschool moms, some memberships. We have 2 annual events. We have a wide variety of things in that homeschool niche. All of our kids worked in the business. This is just a personal thing. You want to know a little bit about me? We wanted our kids to know how to have their own business if they ever wanted to. So far, none of them are, but Hunter, let me tell you, I take that back. He has a real estate business and he's working on some Airbnb stuff as well. But they all worked in the office, shipping, taking care of accounting, taking care of travel. Gentry took care of all our shipping when she was in high school and college. Hunter took it over when he was in college. Ashley took care of all our travel plans. When we would go to a conference, they would run our booth while Steve and I would go speak. And they knew the products and they knew how to use the computer. They knew how to do all of it. And we paid them well. In fact, they would get a commission off of our sales at an event. And they'd be going, and one time we had a special speaker at an event, and I was like, I'm so glad Mr. Basak came. And I'm like, why? Because I just made an extra $200 off of what he sold there. So we did pay our kids well. Anyway, I'm living on a full-time income right now. So I was going to change this next slide. Grandkids, that was a year ago. I've decided we're going to take that little picture every year because we have an updated one, but I couldn't find it. Can you imagine what it would be like to wake up each morning excited about your work? Know you're making a difference for your followers and your readers, knowing exactly what to do today that will grow your business, that you are passionate about your niche and those you work with. You have a marketing plan, what to do first, what to do next. And you have freedom to do what you're called to do. We're all called to do something. So, how would this affect you right now? Put something in the chat if any of this were true. What would that be like for your business? And as you do that, I do want to just give you a quick little roadmap. Some of you want to know exactly where we're going. So let me tell you, I'm going to share my story, and then we're going to go through some of these steps and 3 things you need in place. The sexiest thing about your business, where to gain visitors on your site, list building powerhouses, and 3 ways to gain consistency. So let's move forward. What was my story? In 2020, I lost half my income. You see, the homeschool business was really just a hobby business at that time. It was an online business and I knew how to run it. And we've been doing that for years, but I wasn't sure. I kept thinking, is this really going to work for me? I mean, we've been doing it, but I don't know. We got to increase some of this income. Why would people buy from me? I had to overcome some of my own mindset issues and gain that confidence. You see, I have struggled with the mindset. I still to this day, so I'm like, why are they buying that? Why did they get that course? And yet, I will tell you the biggest thing for me is the transformation. When I see my homeschool moms tell me stories about how the things I teach them are changing their home, their homeschool, then I know that what I'm selling them really is helping them in a way. And so I just say to you, you can do this if you struggle with that mindset issue. And I can tell you, I am no tech wizard. In fact, I think I crashed our server, like the people, I mean, this like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know what happened, but people were hacking into all our websites, and I think it crashed them. And they put all these protections on because of something I had done. So, but can still make money, even though I don't know all the tech issues and a full-time income. And then this gives us the freedom to go help with our grandkids or to go on trips, to be able to just take it and take a break. Just like yesterday was Tuesday. It's the normal work day. And I left in the morning and got back at 2 in time for the mastermind group. So I would love to know, and I am going to read, even though I can't read everything right now, I will be reading it afterwards. I would love to know, what is your big why? Why do you want an online business? Don't say to make money, because that's what we're all here for. For me, it is freedom to be able to go help. I know Gentry had an emergency a little over a year ago, and she called me at 12. Her husband had just left town for Labor Day weekend, busiest weekend in his business, and it was 12, and by 12:20, I was packed and driving up to Dallas to help her and the kids. That was the kind of freedom that I actually had. So yeah, freedom. And hello, Carl. It's my new DCA friend, and to reach more people as well. So 5 ways to make more money. I want to help provide a foundation to set up a business or to scale your business, giving you the freedom to work from anywhere, doing the work you're called to do, not someone else. What are you called to do? And helping others as you serve and sell. We see a lot of people role model freedom, sharing the things that you're gifted in to help other people as well. So let me get my next piece of paper, y'all. That's over here. Whether you're a beginner or whether you've been doing this for a while, we need to sort of be strategic. So what I'm going to do is go through these 3 things I think we need in place, and then we'll dive into the 5 steps. We've already talked about the About Me page. Some of y'all have already heard me share that because I've shared that in small groups as well. But let's just talk about some things that I think you need to have in place that can help you eventually make money. A resources or a tools section they'll want to come back to. This is so powerful. And one thing I have done, I have my resource page. These aren't necessarily products that I am personally selling. They're not my shop, but they are resources I recommend. Now, it's real easy to sort of want to say, oh, I'm just going to stuff it full of anything and everything in my niche and put affiliate links. And if you do that, people aren't going to pay attention. So I think I've got like 5 or 6 resources on there. They're the ones I love. So I put resources I love and I use. And if I have a affiliate link, I am going to connect to that and be able to make some commissions off of that. If people land on my website, they may want to know what tools. One thing my desire is to have 2 pages on Family eBiz. Have a beginner's page and like you're just getting started, and then a scaling up. Because sometimes there's a little bit of difference. It may not be, but like I would not recommend Lead Pages, which I love. I fell in love with this year, to the beginner. I would recommend it to someone else. If you want to, I mean, I won't even go in. I could do a little sales pitch for Lead Pages right now, but that is something I wouldn't recommend to a beginner, but I would recommend to someone that sort of has some things going and is making a little bit of money and they have some money to spend on it monthly. Next, you need weekly content. These might be how-to articles, they may be videos, podcasts, something that you are giving out regular content. I say weekly. If you've never done it before and you're a little scared, I would say bi-weekly, like twice a month, and build up to weekly content. You need to be giving your readers something of value, and it needs to sit somewhere. I put it on my website, so that keeps driving traffic. So when I email them, like, what is today, Wednesday? Well, yesterday I emailed my homeschool group, because Tuesday is homeschool, about the election and about the podcast interview I did with Linda Hobart on Marxism. On Monday, I sent something out to Family eBiz group. I try to send one piece of content every week. And if I don't have anything else to send my group, at least I can build a relationship and they start to get regular content. I would challenge you to build a weekly, at least one email a week that gives some good information. Does it have to always be new? No, we were talking in our mastermind group yesterday. This girl was like, I just feel like I need to keep writing blog posts. And I'm like, you have so many blog posts. If you don't have time to write one, send something out that you've already written that has been popular and helpful. So you don't always have to send something brand new. So resources section, the weekly content, and then some kind of fantastic gift. That is your lead magnet. That is your freebie. They're going to give you in exchange for your name and email. And you can see here, if I can get my little, email here. So these are both on my homepage. Why? My homepage is visited a lot. It is usually one of my top visited pages. And these are at the top. They are above the fold. So the first thing they see is an offer for a freebie. They're pretty general, everything you want to know about homeschooling and the blueprint to online business. But people come in and sign up, and then they're on my email list, and I have a follow-up. Now, we're not going to go into email marketing, but you do need a gift like this to get their name and email. Put something in the chat. I would say right now, I hope you have 2 of these 3 in place, or maybe put something in the chat and let me know which ones you already have going for you, or maybe which ones that you feel like you need to work on as well. So 2, I have 2. Weekly content is my email. Oh, there you go. I have 1. Item 3, you got a lead magnet. So you do want to give things. I will say this. I know some people that are very successful and all they do is send promotion emails, but I don't believe in that. I believe in sort of a third emails personal, a third value, and a third promotion. That's sort of what I teach. All right, step 1, the sexiest thing about business is persistence. And all you non-math people are going, no, thank you. But it's really true. You need to know your stats of your website, of your social media, of your podcast, your YouTube channel, wherever you are, you need to know what your stats are. And if you want more traffic, you need to analyze those stats. I think it's so important. So, what are some of the metrics that you need to look at? I'm going to talk about this, and we're going to start with Google Analytics. And if you don't, I'm not going to teach how to go get everything with Google Analytics. You can go watch a YouTube video on that. But when you start to look at your stats, you go from guesswork to proven work. You go from throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping something happens to actually knowing what's working and then repeating it over and over. Wash, rinse, repeat. So so let's take a look at this. Here are some things that you want to pay attention to. What keywords are people searching on to find you? Which page do they enter your site through, and which page do they leave through? How long do they stay on your site? What actions do they take? And then what is the bounce rate? If you're wondering what a bounce rate is, that is when they just come on and bounce off. They don't even stay for more than 2 or 3 seconds. You don't want that. Now, people move a lot. I'm going to tell you. And if they sign up for something quickly, you at least know you have an email for them. And we're going to talk about how to get those emails. But that is something we need to look at. I think it's really important. Which page are they coming through? And then where are they leaving? Now, I'm not going to show you everything in Google Analytics, but I'm going to show you a few screenshots just to give you an idea. I tried to update these I know GA4 has been around for a little while, but okay, here we go. You can start to see, and these are from different months. This is back when I had my event, and they're all coming through. You can see the number of visitors to this page in July in the VIP. When you see this little blank, that's your home page. All right. So you can see it wasn't just me promoting. I had affiliates and speakers promoting, but my home page was really besides that one-time promotion, is my most visited page as well. And then there's some other ones. I can look here and I can see that they're looking for Olympics material here as well, some unit study, and that OTO, we're not going to go. That's just how I label my tripwires one-time offers. But you can go in here and this can help with your SEO as well. And so you can start to see, here's a different month, and I can start to see in fall. I can actually go back last year and see what were the words that they were looking for in September, October, and November, and make sure that in September I've got all my fall pages updated and doing what they need, or making new podcasts or new blog posts or whatever. But these are some of the pages. You can see they're very fall related. I don't know why, but this page shows up every single month. So it is a popular page as well. It's also popular on Pinterest, I think. Next, you can look and see where are we getting traffic from. And you can see, I believe this top one is direct, meaning people just send you directly to that page. So if I send an email and they click on it, that's how they're getting, that's the top, that part. Pinterest is my top one. I was telling my mastermind group, the girls in my group, and I was like, I don't know all the algorithms. I don't know all the changes. All I know is Pinterest continues to drive traffic every month to my site. And we keep making new because of this, because I look at this stat. I make new pins on a regular basis. Like right now, we're making Christmas pins so that we can get them out this week so that they'll be ready by December. But that is driving traffic. All right. So I do pay attention to that in Google. And both of these, let's be honest, Pinterest is not social, it is a search engine. And so you can see right there. And then I'm guessing people from ConvertKit in my group are sending people through ConvertKit. I don't know. You can notice Facebook is pretty low. It's better than it used to be, which was like 5 or 10. So I still pay attention to it. I use Facebook more for community than just driving traffic as well. But those are a few things that you can see. The other thing I would say, so you've got GA for analytics, something called a Google Search Console. We're not going to go into it, but if you will put that, if you'll sign up for it, connect it, it will tell you how people are finding you. What are the keywords they're actually typing in? And how can you provide more of that? All right. So, and I do want to say something. When I keep saying podcast, for me personally, every podcast I put out has a web page on my website. If you do a podcast, you need to put it, you need a web page on your website. All right. Yeah, they'll go to Apple or Spotify or YouTube, but every page, and it has links to Apple and Spotify and YouTube, and it has my resources that we mentioned, so it can send them to other sites, other places on my site or affiliate sites. But there's a page on it. So if you do a podcast, make that a goal for 2025. Find a system that you've got your podcast on a single, every one of them has one page, and that I can optimize that for SEO. And I do that more than I do blog posts right now because it's easier for me. So, all right, that's a whole bunch on stats. So let's number 2. Let them pick your brain for free. Move to the next page. All right. We're going to go back to what I was talking a second ago. If anyone's ever asked you what you recommend for, then your website definitely needs this resource page. All right. So you want to turn it into a one-stop shop for your best recommendations. Let's dive into this a little bit more in detail. Start by asking yourself, what does your ideal visitor need right now? What's their problem? What solution are they looking for? What information or tool do they need? Like one of the ones I just discovered yesterday is Riverside. You can record audio and video, but the real reason I'm looking at it is it does transcriptions and it writes show notes for your podcast. And I want to say it's like $200 and something a year. And I'm like, oh, if they would take that, I mean, ChatGPT might do that too, but that would just help me a lot. So I'm looking at possibly putting that on my resource page after I tried it myself. I'm not just going to go put it on there. So what you need to do is think back to when you were at your ideal visitor's level. Get inside their head. And if you can't get back to that place, what you want to do, what are we looking at? There we go. I don't know if that's the screen y'all are looking for. There we go. Lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm gonna go back. We'll come back to this. You want to get back in their head. How do you do that? Biggest thing is ask them. If you have a group, put some questions out, find out what they need help with. or do some validation calls. Set up some calls on Zoom with some of your ideal customers and ask them a few questions, just 5 or 10 minutes, so that you can find out what you want to do and what they need. You've got to get inside their head, not your head. Again, they are the hero. You are guiding them along. Right? So that is a mindset shift. If you get a good set of resources and they're only the best, then they are going to trust you and they're going to keep coming back to you if you have a good list. There are certain people I follow, and if I want to know what to use, I go to their website and see what they recommend. Another thing you can do to research this is to use Facebook groups. You can also go to Amazon and research in your niche. Like, what are the things that people are buying? What are the top books or audios or whatever? What is selling in eBay? What is selling in Etsy? Go read about those items, and then that can give you some ideas of what they need. So these are roundabout ways. Lastly, you could go on Facebook Live or wherever you do lives and just ask some questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. All right. And then once you know that, you're going to share them as resources if they're other people's products, or maybe you're going to share some of your best templates, worksheets, checklists, tip sheets. I think sometimes we're afraid to share too much. And if you sort of over deliver, they are more likely to think, wow, if they're giving this away for free, what are they going to give in their paid? Right. And so that's what we actually need to pay attention to. And so I do try to give some things. Now, I've gotten a little better. Mine used to be a little ugly black and white ebooks or charts. Now I use Canva. So if you need to make some kind of lead magnet freebie, just go to Canva and use their templates. I was working on that a few days ago over the weekend, I think, to just come up with a checklist or with a worksheet. They've got lots of them. I did change the color scheme and then put the things that I'm wanting to put in the checklist or the tips or the templates. All right. So if you have favorite tools, be sure to share them, but do it with an affiliate link. And you can share them in an email or on your social, wherever you are used to sharing your information as well. All right, so that is like getting inside, let them pick your brain, and you're going to give away some good information. And then we can promote after that. Now, and by the way, I didn't say this at the beginning, but this really isn't like a list of all the places to go sell your stuff. This is how do we get more people to your place to build that know, like, and trust factor. Because when we do, then we can sell them more. And here is one of my favorite things to be able to do, and that is to grow your list. If you're, and I believe, I don't care where you are in your business journey, you need to be doing this every single week. Some of my grow my list is on automation. I'll show you those in just a minute. All right. But we need to constantly be growing our list. If you are just starting your business, start here. Don't create a product. Y'all are going to freak out. Don't create a product. Start building your list, and then you find out and you talk to the people on your list what they need or what they would buy. Then you go create it. All right. Don't just assume they're going to buy it. Build a list and talk to them. So, how can we add people to our list? Oh, some people do not like these, but I have been using, we've used pop-ups for a long time, but I really started using them more intentionally in this last year, and they really do work. Now, there's lots of different kinds of pop-ups. You can have an entry. They land on your website and you tell the pop-up, show up at a certain like so many seconds, and that might be more of a time pop-up as well. But it's where when they land on your website, they're entering and they get one. Or maybe there's an exit. They're getting ready to leave your website. So there's a pop-up there. Light boxes is where it sort of shades out the whole website, and then the pop-up is brighter than everything else. Scroll, maybe they scroll down a certain place and you tell your software when they get to this, then put a pop-up. A click, maybe they click on something and it pops up. I use these for a lot of my lead magnets, or when they come, when I'm trying to get them to sign up, they click a button and it pops up when they click on it. time ones, and then landing pages. So I want to sort of say landing pages. We're going to show a few examples of this. Do you have pop-ups on your website? And I haven't given one of these away. Let's see. All right, gave one. All right, Jim Hodges gets one of these. And y'all, I'm just scrolling and wherever it stops. Where's my thing? All right, that's our free book. For those of you that got here late, I'm giving away 50 things that will help you crush the things that stop you from happiness or success. And that's the real reason that I'm giving it away. Okay, do you use any of these? If so, yes, we have some pop-ups, no pop-ups. They work. So let's talk about pop-ups now, landing pages. One thing. This is a landing page, and I call it a landing page because someone lands on it, and there is only one thing they can do. They can either get the nature journal or they don't get the nature journal. There are no sidebars, there's no nav bars, and I think it's really important when you're giving away, when you have a sales page, you're selling something, or if you're giving your lead magnets away, if on their own page, you'll notice here, there is nothing around it. There's only one decision, and it keeps them focused. So I think that's important to do. I made this through Aweber. That's my email service provider. Most email service providers provide a landing page with no nav bar, no sidebar. There's only one thing to do. Next, I think it's important too that to get more people, we make our blog post or whatever it is very easy to share. This is, let me see the name of this. Oh, it's up there. So this is an app, a plugin. Oh gosh, go back up. Social Share by Mediavine. And I put this at the top. It makes it so easy for people to share if they want to share it or pin it or whatever. It's right there. Obviously, you can see this is old because it says tweet instead of X, but I already had this image, so I just decided to use it. So if people want to pin, share, or tweet or exit, then they would just do that right there. And my current one does say X now because good old Mediavine changed it for me, right? Some other things that you can do to share your content and share your lead magnets, get people on your list, is to offer a quiz or a survey. Now, they do take a little bit more time. I'm not diving into all the ins and outs, but I have two quizzes. One is what's missing in your homeschool and what's your homeschool secret sauce. And if you take it and you want to know your results, you have to give me your name and email. And then I will go back here and put that. I know someone said, I don't appreciate excessive pop-ups. Jasmine said that. I don't either. And so here's one thing I do is I actually have mine set so they don't pop up every time they change pages. They can only pop up once a day on my website. So if they get on my website and then they go scrolling around to a bunch of pages, they only get the pop-up the first page they land on. So that would be one way to not for people to not leave you, because I get tired of those pop-ups and then I just leave that website and say, forget it. I can't even get to the information. So that way you give them an opportunity, and then if they don't take it on the next pages, there's no pop-up. Surveys are another way that you can reach out to people, and if you can, depending on where you're, like if you're speaking in an event, you might run a survey to the people that come to your workshop as well. But yeah, quizzes are a great way to get people on your list. And then finally, PS links. PS links. This corresponds with the link in your email. PS, just want the super clean Scrivener nonfiction templates? Click here, and that will click them to your website to sign up for those templates. And that could be a sell product. I use my PS. From what I am told, research says the PS is the most part, it's read more than any other part on an email. I don't know how they check, but I think it's some kind of eye sensor thing. But PS's work. In fact, I was in our mastermind meeting yesterday, and it's been on my mind. Melanie was there, and she actually sells her affiliate product through a PS once a year. It's just an event, and she says, I just make affiliate sales by putting it in the PS. Let our team install it for you. seeing our prices. Now, I will say the PS is where I put a lot of paid products off and on because I figure if they scroll down and just skim it all, I'm going to try to sell them something at the very end. The stuff in the middle might be the free stuff as well. So Amanda says she loves using PSs. Does anyone else use PSs as well to grow your list? And this just means they're more invested. You're building that know, like, and trust factor. Sometimes I need to add a PS. I try to always have a PS in mind. All right, step 4, turn your best content into list building powerhouses. How do we do this? You want other people to share your content. So I want to talk about 6 ways you can increase the sharing power of your posts or your podcast or your whatever content you are putting out as well. Yeah, and Janie made a good comment. I usually use a PS for sales because the reader is already on my list. And I think that's a really good point because they are already on your list. And that's one reason I'm like, hey, if you're on my list, I might as well try to sell you something at the end. Now, obviously, it's probably not going to be a $2,000 product. That's going to take a little bit more know, like, and trust. But I've got a lot of 10, 20, $30 products that people might buy on a PS. And like right now it's fall. And so if I put some fall stuff in that PS, they're more likely to maybe take a look at it. And Jim says, I have a PS on every email. Yes. Okay. Already got that one. Number 1, find unique angles. Now, before computers and Google and ChatGPT and AI, journalists had to think, number 1 principle, what is a hot selling item that I could send? What kind of unique angle or twist can I take? Something that no one else has ever thought about. So what you want to do is find a popular topic and come up with a unique angle. If you're creating stale posts, people are not going to stay and read them. It's all about your reader. You want to serve your reader. I believe serve before you sell. I'm going to say it again. Serve before you sell. So for me personally, I'm in the homeschool niche. There are so many people teaching how to homeschool, but I have a little twist on what I try to put out. And I think my audience is attracted to me because I include my faith in my homeschooling. That doesn't mean I'm pushing in your face. And I have people that aren't Christians on my list that buy stuff, but I do include my faith in posts. And I try to show people how to be purposeful in their homeschooling and how to raise leaders. That's sort of my little different angle on homeschooling. You need to find what are your unique angles in your niche. And then think about, are you really delivering that in whatever the content, whether that's a blog post, a podcast, a YouTube video, or whatever, all right? It's all about the reader. The reader is the hero, not you. And so don't just do it because you want to serve them and find something, but do it with a unique angle. You want to create irresistible headlines or subject lines, all right? Something that draws them in to want to either open that email or share that blog post or podcast. You know what it's like when you listen to a podcast, you're like, oh, I've got to share this with someone. How quitting Facebook affects your brain. That's interesting. How to buy an external hard drive. Clarification, please. We're just going to make it very simple. So a lot of times we want to make a promise or ask a question. All right, let me give you some winning headline formulas. One of my favorite is how to or discover. I don't even have discover on there. 7 ways to, 7 easy. You can do whatever number, 3, 5, 7, 10, I don't care, but easy ways to. 10 top tips for, these are like blog posts, podcasts, YouTube, your content. Beginner's guide to, and just put the word why in the front of it. Those are some real easy ways. And this can help with your email subject line, a title of a podcast, a blog post, your web page, maybe the title of a web page, maybe a workshop. But if you're still sort of like, I don't know, just go to ChatGPT, and all my people just hear me talk about ChatGPT. I actually go there to see if they will write some better headlines for me, some better subject lines. And I always ask it to write 5 more. I give it the one I thought of, and then I say, write 5 more, and then I give it the thing and just see what they come up with. So don't be afraid of ChatGPT. It's not taking over everything. It's just giving you some ideas. Next, we want to use beautiful, relevant images. They need to be high quality images. Free sites. If you want to get some good images, Pexels.com, Unsplash.com. Paid is Deposit Photos. Those are the 3 places that I personally use. If you use Canva, I think they're connected to Unsplash.com and they already have images there, but sometimes I can't always find one, so I have to go to Deposit. I have an account there, and then Pexels as well. But you want good images. Now, what constitutes a good image? Does the image relate directly to your topic? Is there an element in this photo that contradicts or negates my message? For me personally, things that if there's something in the photo that goes against Christianity, I don't use that photo. It may not even, I don't even need that in a photo that I'm using. Is there something about the photo that directly relates to my theme? Will it still look striking on a tiny mobile phone screen? So let's take a look at a few of these. I know I'm going fast, sorry. Look at these. So you can see they're very simple. I use fonts that are easy to read. Jelly bean activities, picture a jelly bean, boost confidence. Here's a mom and a daughter. Summer activities, they're kite flying. So they relate to whatever. Here's all the flowers, Easter, Holy Week, all of this kind of stuff. So don't use, now there is a script here and I will do it, but the main part is Celebrate Holy Week with the heart check. And it's all about your heart. So those are just a few ways that you could use good images. The next thing we want to do is use platforms that save time and reach your audience. I've already mentioned Pinterest. I showed you my stats, and I use Tailwind. It is just so easy to use, and we can schedule out further than just the native scheduler as well. So I do spend money on certain things, but it saves me and our VA time in scheduling all of that. So find platforms that will save you time. We've already talked about this. Ask people to comment and share your content. Always ask people to leave comments. In my Facebook things, I'm always saying, ask a question about whatever the blog post is or podcast that I'm sharing. Make it easy to share, like that Mediavine plugin that I told you about earlier. So you want to get people to share your content, and then we want to track our results. What are people sharing? What are they opening? What are they clicking on? So email metrics, especially open and click-throughs. You want to know if they're clicking. If they're not clicking, you need to do something. Are they opening? What can we do to get them to open more? Website metrics, we already talked about those stats with Google Analytics. Social media metrics, you can go in to Facebook and find out what day and time people are on in your group or page or whatever the most. And you can get metrics for Instagram, all of this kinds of stuff. So we do need to track our results. You don't want to get sidetracked, all right, as well. So let's hit number 5. Before you write, speak, record a single word, give your content a job. To me, I said list building is where you need to start. This is probably the most important thing. If you don't hear anything else, if you're multitasking, come back. This is where it's at. Everything you put out there needs a job. What I mean by that? It's sometimes called a CTA, a call to action. So here are some ways that we can always have a call to action in there. If you use templates for repeating post types, or for me, a podcast page, my podcast page is a template so that I always have a resource that they can click on. I want a call to action. So that is what I'm going to do. When I have blog posts, I can have blog post templates as well. And that's why I like lead pages. I can copy those real easily and quickly. Next, you can sometimes create a theme. Danielle is in my mastermind, and she runs her business with themes. So everything for March was spring, or maybe it's fall right now. When you have a theme for each month, it saves your brain power and you can focus on that. Like right now, we're in fall time. We did Reformation Day last week. We are moving into Christmas a little early so that moms can get ready for adding purpose and keeping Christ in Christmas. But that's a whole nother subject. So we do have themes. Include features in your blog as well. So that you can maybe like you feature someone, like I've been doing business of the month features. It's not in my blog, but I do send it out an email. It has the same Facebook post every time. It has the same email. I just go in and substitute the information for whoever the new business of the month is. And then lastly, plan your content. I know I keep talking about yesterday's mastermind. Thursday we had a great one, and then Tuesday I was so excited. Amber's in there. Amber Smith is teaching calendar content. She has a 365-day calendar content plan. And she says right now she has a whole plan for her year. And that includes promotions, that includes her content. And I have it for my promotions, but I'm going back and going to theme mine out and also do that as well. So when you can plan your content ahead of time, maybe you can't do a whole year, but maybe just start right now. We're in Q4. Maybe start and plan once a week. What are you going to do till the end of the year? If you're already overwhelmed, then start with Q1, week 1, January, and plan it out. For me, here's one thing. This is another plug-in, and this is how I can plan out my blog posts. We've run 30 days of, this is an old one, but it looks exactly the same for this year. 30 days of thanks. And this one was actually, I think, 22 days, but I can look in this calendar here, oh gosh, and I can see exactly what we're sending out every single time, every single day. Do you have some kind of plan? Do you have some kind of calendar that you are using to plan that as well? So you want to use templates. If it's repetitive, you want to maybe theme it out. Maybe you include features and all you do is pull in and out whenever those features come up that you're going to share, and then plan your content on a calendar of some kind. This calendar, let me see. Oh, WP Editorial Calendar is that plugin. WP Editorial Calendar. And it's a WordPress plugin that I had used that obviously 2020, but I was using it even before then. So let's take a quick look. 5 ways to make more money online. Those stats, you do need to dig into them. They're not always fun, but get into them. I sort of get excited about what I'm going to do. Let your readers pick your brain. You want to give out good content for value and free, because then they're going to wonder what in the world is going to be included in the paid if this is what she gives or he gives out for free. Take every opportunity to grow your list. We talk about ideas for that. Make them viral so other people are sharing them. And then job. Every post, podcast, everything needs a job. And I didn't really say this. That job might be a lead magnet within your blog post, your podcast. So in my podcast, in my show notes, I always have resources mentioned. That could be an affiliate product. That could be my own product. It could be a lead magnet, but always. And every email that I send out has a job. I don't just send it out with the information. And I want to train them to click in my emails. If I give everything in the email, why click and ever go to your website? All right. So you can see this has a variety of lead magnets to build your email list and know, like, and trust. But we also want like jobs, this kind of thing for the paid as well. But you've got to get your lead magnet out so you build your list so you have people to actually sell it to. And I think that is sort of the order. And too often people start with, I'm going to make an ebook or content. No, you need to build that list first and then be able to move forward as well. So what is next for you? Is any of this overwhelming? Do you struggle to stay consistent? Could you use someone to come alongside you? Would a step-by-step action plan help you really put this into practice, or accountability from another business owner? Would it help to have others to bounce ideas around? And I'll just stop right there. It's not on here. Do you have people in your life that get it? Because let's be honest, I have friends that they're just like, well, especially my mom, Carrie, I don't really understand what you do, but I'm glad it works. And I pray that you're successful. But it's important that we have people that understand it. Like I see Jamie and Amanda and Carl, they're all working on their courses. And there may be some of y'all others that I missed. You know, we've built a relationship. Some of them were in the boot camp. And so we get each other and we can talk about it and help. Do you have people in there? Are you struggling with your mindset about making money, about money in general, about charging enough? That's really hard, you know? I would love to help you gain confidence and freedom to get started or get you to the next level in your business. And this week, I'm opening up some slots. We have some open slots in our mastermind. This is not something that you can just pop in and out of, but it is something that I offer. And I know I've mentioned the people that are in there. And I will tell you this, when I first started this 3 or 4 years ago, I thought it would be more about strategies and trainings. And the number one thing I keep having mastermind members say, Carrie, this group is so good for accountability. This group is so good because you all get it. And my husband doesn't, or my wife doesn't, or whomever. And so that's so interesting. There really is an accountability factor and a focus factor that people can come together and help. So let me just help tell you what it is while instead of rambling. This is to help you take your business to the next level wherever you are, help keep you accountable and focused, help you focus on profit-making tasks, provide cutting-edge, up-to-date strategies to grow your business. So we do have monthly trainings and help you overcome your fear. This was mine sometimes of no one reading your blog post and no one buying your items. Yes, I have had some goose eggs before, but um, what is it? It is small groups that meet each month with me for, I shouldn't say bloggers, content creator, podcaster. You have an online business of some sort. We get together to help solve each other's problems or to help you get started in your business, to hold you accountable, and to help you stay focused and consistent. It does take work, but work that will take you to the next level. And the reason I put 300 is at one time I was going to be charged $300 for a once a month group coaching thing. And I think this is even better because it's more us helping each other out. So here's how it works. Each member has 30 minutes and you're going to go through our 5 Qs, and that is a chance for you to tell what's working in your business and where you need help, and we brainstorm. I had one person yesterday, she goes, I am so overwhelmed and with all this funnel stuff and everything. How do I know? How can I test all this? And so, we just talked her through it. We brainstorm solutions. It's the power of a group versus a single coach. Um, the mastermind meetings are recorded and distributed, but they are confidential and only we just share them with the small group of 4. You get an action plan, which is a PDF, and that says what you are going to work on. I don't tell you what you're going to work on. You get to choose that yourself. You get to say, here's what I'm going to work on. And when we come back, the very first thing you tell everyone is, here's what I got done, or here's what I didn't get done. All right. And we had someone yesterday that was here and she goes, I almost didn't come because I didn't get much done. And I'm like, 1 is better than 0. And so, we do want to encourage each other. Each group has a private chat to get immediate feedback. So we have a little Facebook group for each one, and you can DM each other and get some help that way. So we've got the monthly meeting. I've sort of already told you about it. It's 30 minutes for each person, and you get your personal action plan. It is confidential, so you can be transparent and trust the others in your group. Trust is really important to me and to those in the group. We have a monthly co-working session. You can come in for an hour. You get to decide what you're going to work on, and it is heads down. We work for 25 minutes, and we get together, answer any questions, and we work for another 25 minutes. We have video training and printable. This is a live training each month. And sometimes it's me, sometimes it's other people that are actually doing the training. This past month, we had email. The 2 months before that, we did list building. This in November, we're doing bundles and how to do one. And then I think productivity. And then we've got copy work and then content calendar. Amber's going to talk about content calendar in January for us. So That's just a few ideas. We have a quarterly challenge. In fact, we've got a quarterly challenge going right now, and it's all about email and getting your email marketing up and going the correct way. And tomorrow's post is on pop-ups and whether people like it or not, how we could use those. And then we have a private Facebook community as well, just so you can go in there, and that's all the members. We don't have a whole bunch, but it is, we have a nice little group and they can help each other as well. So there's all the prices, and that's the value per month of what it would cost. But have a bonus. The bonus is we have a training library. Right now it's over 24 videos and printables from the last 2 years. You can get help on topics you need, and it can help transform your business into a sales machine. I have an instant bonus. This is my training on overcoming imposter syndrome, or whether you have a problem with charging money. And then there's a printable that's included, 14 ideas to help you move past your self-doubt, 7 steps to being motivated and staying focused. This is one of my most popular trainings that I get from my mastermind people. And those are some of the things we cover. Again, we've got all of that in there, lots of bonuses, $21.45, but I know that's not what you could do. I will tell you this, Steve and I, when we got our first mastermind in 2008, we actually paid $10,000 a year, and we had to fly to Washington, D.C. 4 times a year for our mastermind. And that is pretty much out of most people's pocket, especially given the economy today. So what we're doing is we charge, the people that are in it now are paying $47 a month, or if you want to pay the annual fee, it's $470 for the whole year. You'll get 2 months for free. You can go to familyebiz.com/mastermind. So I've gone through a lot of that, but I do have a couple extra bonuses. If you decide to pay in full, you're going to get my $247, I did increase that, Boost package. This is a course that I've created, and it goes through a lot of the marketing, getting started, and from a solid foundation, getting your followers and your customers, building your website and products. Notice products is module 3, not module 1. And then the bonus is boosting your marketing and your list as well. So there's all of that, but then I have 2 more little things. If you decide to join us in the next 24 hours, by tomorrow, I will do a review of one of your websites, your blog, your podcast, whatever you want. And I can go and take a look at that. Justina actually did that a while back, and she just said it was so helpful for someone else to put their eyes on my website as well. Getting strategies you can implement to gain consistent sales as well. I do truly want to help you. I've made plenty of mistakes in this business. Let me tell you, I want to help you get to the next level. I will say, just like Danielle has told me over and over again, and Myra would say it too. She goes, Carrie, I love this mastermind. It keeps me focused. It keeps me accountable. And I can just talk it out. Some of our members, them just talking through their problem and having a group that understands them, they're like, I figured out what to do. And so sometimes you may not even have to help them. I do have a few members, seriously, they will talk for 4 or 5 minutes and realize I have my answer right there. All right. And we had several of those yesterday as well. So, and I know Jan has also told me, Jan Burt, she was like, this is such great accountability. And I trust these people, and they're my friends now. I will say you can cancel at any time. We don't really refund any money. You just won't pay anything going further. I do recommend staying in for at least 4 to 6 months. I go back to Danielle, and I guess I don't mean to pick on her because, we have other people like Annette, and she's like, this has helped me meet my goals because I stay focused. But Danielle said, Carrie, the first few months, it took me a while to get in the rhythm of things. And so that, I do think if you're going to give it a try, you ought to at least try it for a few months to sort of get in the rhythm and see how it can help you as well. If you decide to join right now on this class, I'm going to give you my little business planner as well. There's Annette. She said, the mastermind helped me regain focus for my business, keeping me on track and reaching for the goals I've set out to reach this year. So she has been there as well. All right, so there is the page. I want you to think just for a second why you actually showed up here. Maybe you feel stressed out, pulled in so many directions. You need to simplify your life and your business. or maybe you're confused about what to do next. You're ready to pull out your hair, that long to-do list. Where do you start? Or maybe you have to make this work because your husband or wife lost their job and is no longer able to work. Or maybe you are a single parent and you need to provide for your kids, but you want the freedom to be home with them. I want you to remember why you showed up today. By now, I think you can see how Family eBiz Mastermind will help you bust through all those sticking points that have stopped you from pulling the trigger to get to the next level in the past. Your fear of failing because you're unsure if this really works. But if you still haven't signed up, maybe you have some doubts. Maybe you think, well, you know what? I can create my own plan. And I hear you. That's where I was. It took years, like years. We figured it all out ourselves. We did buy some courses in certain areas. But in 2020, I had to turn my hobby business into a full-time business that would provide for us. And even though I knew it, things had changed. And I knew I needed to invest in myself and invest in my business and be able to get the help that I needed and not why reinvent the wheel, basically. Or maybe you can't spend the money. And I understand, especially in these times of uncertainty, consider this perspective. And it's a really small perspective. All right. It is, let's say you get your action plan, you put it into action, and let's just say you make $50 a month from something you learn. You've just made a big whopping profit of $3. Now, I hope there's a lot more than that. But seriously, if you can just put one thing into practice, it could provide $50 a month that you wouldn't have made otherwise. So that's just a thought as well. One thing I was telling them yesterday, because Melanie was saying, Carrie, or she was asking all this, how do you get your courses done? How do you get this work done? And I said, I sort of put a due date. I'm like, I have to, like when I bought Digital Course Academy, by January, from September to January, I needed to make my $2,000 back. And I did. I just sort of gave myself a deadline as well. So, anyway, those are just some sticking points. I would love for you to join us. We do have a few openings in current masterminds, and then I'm also hoping to open up a brand new one. What will happen when you get there and you go to that webpage, there's a lot more detail on that webpage, but you can go, and I am going to answer questions. So if y'all have questions, put them there. But you'll get there and you can sign up for that first month. And once you get there, you'll have access to our general mastermind area. And in there is an application that you can fill out to give us more about that. And then that's a chance for you to sort of see the different days and times. We do meet in the afternoons. Okay. So, oh yes, Family eBiz back in the day. Oh my goodness. And Steve taught all sorts of things. Okay, do y'all have questions about this other than accountability? What reasons do people join your mastermind? Mostly, that's a really good question, Stephanie. The always I say accountability, and like I said before, I did not expect that. That has just been something that I've heard over and over again. And so, one is to get help, like for us to brainstorm, like Melanie was really struggling with her sales funnel and testing, and I don't remember what her email service provider was, but talking to that and the web page, and we stop and talk. Sometimes we'll pull up a web page. Maybe we'll go online and actually look at their web pages and try and come up with solutions for them. So they walk away with some things that they can work on that next month. So it's not just accountability. And actually, I always forget this, but I sort of remembered. There we go. And Jerry Ann says, I'm in Carrie's Mastermind and we are all at different levels. We help each other with tech things. Thank you, Jerry Ann. Brainstorming and support. Jerry Ann has a quilting, and y'all heard me talk about all homeschooling. She's got a quilting thing. She's going to speak. Probably we would never have even connected. She's going to speak at my Life Skills Leadership Summit on quilting and demonstrate some things. So the networking is an awesome thing. You're going to learn about different opportunities. I see people get to know each other in our mastermind groups, and then they go and work with each other depending on it. I know I've talked about homeschooling a lot, but we have someone in the health niche. We have Jerry's in that. We have someone else in the foster care niche. We have a variety of different types. We have a sibling rivalry parenting kind of thing. So there are different niches. Do most of your groups work full-time on their business? Is part-time feasible? Very much part-time. You work on it at your rate. And I will tell you, I do have several like I had two homeschool moms in the groups that we've met with recently that were sort of like, I can't get anything done. And I'm like, you're still homeschooling. And this other girl and I are not homeschooling. We have more free time than you do. And so we can actually get this working. So yeah, I definitely think it can be part-time. We have many people in it that are just doing it part-time. And it sort of depends. Now, you might have a full-time job and this is your side hustle. You'll have to be creative in the hours that you spend. But you can definitely do it. I do say that we meet in the afternoons because one, my brain doesn't operate well at nighttime. And my brain operates very well in the morning. So I work on thinking things I really have to think through in the morning. So for the most part, and I'm Central Time, so we can meet anywhere from 12 to 4 or 5, somewhere in there. So let me see. Let me scroll back up. Verbal processor. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I think they already shared the calendar tool. Let's see. Okay, I think that's it. I don't mean to harp on accountability and focus. The other thing is we do have a training every single month. If you are stuck, you can get in our Facebook group with all the different groups and put, like, we have people that will put their landing page, their lead magnet, say, what do y'all think? Can you give me some feedback? Or maybe they don't want to do it in the Facebook, the whole group. Maybe they only want to do it in their small group of 4 entrepreneurs, and I'm in each one of those. And so they put it out because they figure those 4 people have heard them talk about it, and then they come in and get feedback on there. So we do meet once a month, but we still connect with each other as well during the month and be able to help each other out. And again, we have different trainings that will come up, and you'll get the library of trainings, which is, I mean, I don't even know all the different topics. We've talked about Facebook ads. We've done some mindset things and motivation and imposter syndrome, that kind of thing. But then we've also talked about TikTok and things like that, YouTube, webinars. How do you launch a product? People think you put something in the shop and I've launched my product. No, there's a real process to launching a product. So, are there any other questions? And like I said, networking again. Who would have known Jerry Ann would join this? And then I'm more in the homeschool niche, but we have this life skills annual event every year. So she's connection. I just think those networking things. This thing is yesterday, that's where I learned about Riverside. I didn't know it. Melanie starts talking about it, and I'm like, I am on this because it's a lot less expensive than what I would have to pay my podcasting people to get transcriptions and all of that as well. Any other questions? I'm so excited about it. Never, oh yeah, that's right. She never would have had this opportunity. Hey, thank you for staying here and for just being here. If you had, oh, by the way, this is open until, because I was open until next week. I think Tuesday is the last day. We do have the fast mover bonus. We will do a review of your website or a podcast or whatever it is you want from if you sign up by tomorrow night. And then everything else will be open until next Tuesday. We're trying to get all applications in next week so that everyone can jump into it in our November meetings as well. And so that would be great to have y'all. We would love to have you. All right. Thanks so much for spending time with me. I am Carrie Beck with Family eBiz. Got it right this time. My pleasure, Diana. Yeah, if y'all do have questions, send me an email, send me a DM on Facebook. I try to be in both of those places as well. My pleasure. Glad y'all are all here, and we will talk to you next time.